Let's talk about something we've all seen happen, something that really shapes our work lives. Why is it that we so often follow the most confident person in the room and not necessarily the most competent one? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this whole illusion. No, really, just for a second, picture it. That last big meeting. Who was driving the whole conversation? Was it that quiet expert in the corner? The one who was, actually thinking through all the angles? Or was it the person who just sounded so incredibly sure of themselves, even if their ideas felt a little shaky? This isn't just a random thing. It's actually baked into our psychology. So to really understand what's going on, we have to start by looking inside our own heads. This first part is all about that illusion, that mistaken judgment our brains are basically pre-programmed to make. Okay, so here's the absolute heart of the issue. When someone lays out an idea with total, unshakable confidence, our brains just take a shortcut. We kind of skip over the hard work of critical thinking because that certainty feels like a signal for accuracy. A confident delivery seems like proof all by itself, even when there's zero substance behind it. The reason this happens is that we all lean on these mental shortcuts. Psychologists call them cognitive biases, just to get through the day. They helped us make quick decisions to survive way back when. But in a modern office, oh boy, they can seriously backfire. The Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman did a ton of work on this. So let's look at 3 big biases that fuel this confidence illusion. First up, we've got the authority bias. We're all just conditioned to trust people who seem like they're in charge, right? Someone with a deep voice, a sharp suit, a big title, when they act like they have authority, a little switch flips in our brain and we just tend to go along with it. We automatically assume their confidence must come from real knowledge. And then there's social proof. This one's huge. When we're not sure what to do, what's our first instinct? We look around to see what everyone else is doing. So if you see a whole group of people listening intently to a confident speaker, you start to think, well, they must be onto something. That person's confidence spreads through the crowd and we just kind of fall in line. And finally, you've got the halo effect. This is where one really positive trait, like being super charismatic or confident, creates this kind of halo around a person. Our brain then makes this leap and goes, wow, they're so confident, they must also be brilliant and capable and probably trustworthy too. It's a total package deal, even if it's not earned. So let's move into our second act, because you can see how this all starts to build. These biases aren't just little passive glitches happening in our brain. Oh no, they can be actively and strategically used by people. This is where we shift from a simple illusion to the deliberate performance of power. So look at this. You've basically got 2 very different roads to leadership. Over on the left, there's influence. This is the leadership that's earned slowly, through trust. It's all about we. It builds real, long-term connections. But then, on the right, you have power. This is all about projecting status, demanding that people follow you right now. It's focused on I. And you can guess which playbook the confident but incompetent person almost always uses. And they have a whole toolkit to pull it off. They speak in absolutes, this is definitely the answer, there's no way this can fail. They interrupt people to control the conversation. They use expansive body language, literally taking up more physical space to signal dominance. Every single one of these is a tactic, a performance designed to trigger our mental shortcuts. And all of this leads us to our final act, the fallout. Because when we consistently reward the performance of confidence instead of the reality of competence, the price we pay can be absolutely huge for individuals, for teams, for entire companies. The poet W.B. Yeats wrote something that just hits the nail on the head here. The best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. It perfectly captures the danger, doesn't it? Real experts, they understand nuance. They know what they don't know, so they speak with a bit of caution. But the people with only a surface-level understanding, they have no such doubts. They just steamroll everyone, and the quiet, truly competent voices get completely drowned out. And inside an organization, this kicks off a chain reaction, a total disaster cascade. First, the confident person gets the promotion. Then, the actual expert, who feels ignored and completely devalued, either just mentally checks out or leaves altogether. So now, you have bad decisions being made with absolute certainty. And the result? Trust, morale, performance, it all just slowly crumbles away. So, what's the solution here? Do we just give up on confidence? No, of course not. The real goal is to bridge this gap, to build a completely different kind of leadership.
one that's based on authentic authority.
So what's the answer? It is not for smart people to just stay quiet. No way. The solution is for competent people to learn how to be confident communicators. It's about finding the courage to share what you actually know with clarity. It's about projecting the authority that you have rightfully earned. It's about fusing your competence with confidence so that you simply cannot be ignored. As we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a few questions to chew on. Think about your own world, your own job. Who is that person? The one who gets all the attention, who people follow, even though their track record is, well, not great. And now, think about the flip side. Who is that quiet expert? That person who has the right answers, but is always getting overlooked or talked over. The one whose competence is basically invisible because it isn't wrapped up in a big performance. And here's the last and maybe the toughest question. When you look at your own career, which path are you walking down? Are you learning how to perform confidence that you haven't quite earned yet? Or are you the quiet expert who's just hoping someone will eventually notice you? The goal, the real answer, is to forge a third path, to build undeniable confidence, and then learn to share it with the world, with confidence.